What's up, guys? Real quick, I want to do a Q&A. I'm actually starting this quick series. These videos are going to be less than 5 minutes, but essentially they're going to be questions that I get in my DMs that day. Like it just happened. Instead of me messaging that person in my DMs and keeping the answers a secret, I am just going to make a quick little video like this, post it up on YouTube, raw, no edits, no nothing, kabowie. And I pray that you guys get whatever you need out of it. So today's question actually comes from one of our weekly coaching call students. It's my boy, Mr. Waiters. His strategy right now is he's going to other people. Okay, he's going to other people who have opportunities, and he's making offers on those. So one of those people, of course, is wholesalers and agents, right? So he has a deal that he's making an offer on with an agent, and his question was, okay, great. Well, the house definitely needs work. Okay, they just listed it. I want to make an offer on it, but the due diligence money that the agent is asking about, the earnest money that the agent is asking
starting
about,
route to 12387 Old US Highway 52.
I don't have that money. And so
in 1.6
my answer to him is simple. Okay, first of all, due diligence is non-refundable. Earnest money is refundable. Okay, and typically there's like a due diligence period as well. So it's like, hey, I'm going to offer you this amount. If the if the seller accepts, then that due diligence period is the amount of time that you have to do your research on the property. An inspection, a survey, have your contractors come over. That period that you have access to the property to do your preliminary, things to get you to closing, to get you cleared to close for closing. Now, of course, you can do that due diligence period all the way up to closing. Okay, but that's like a weaker offer. A stronger offer, is a shorter due diligence period. Or if you're even really solid on it, then no due diligence period. I don't need no research. I don't need no time. Hey, once I send this over, I'm good. Now, as far as the due diligence amount, okay, how much non-refundable deposit should he put down, and who's going to bring that? Well, that's going to be all up to your discretion. Okay, so like the offer that you give them, how confident are you in that offer? Okay, you might be confident in that offer because you have done a hot zip code list, so you know where cash buyers are buying in that area, and you've looked at what those people are buying at, and so you're going to make sure that your number, where you got that your subject property under the number that they're typically buying at, and you've talked to that buyer and said, hey, look, I'm going out here, I'm shopping for you, boss. You ready? I'm ready. And you might be really confident. So you might want to go with a high non-refundable. Even though you're doing a low cash offer or a terms offer, you might want to do a high due diligence non-refundable amount because you have that person in your back pocket. So $2,500, $3,000, $5,000. The higher your non-refundable deposit, the more better your offer is going to be. But of course, you got to have a real serious exit strategy. Now, you could also make it as low as $100, $10, $0. I've seen all of those done before, but that makes your offer not as strong. So you have to determine, do you really want the deal? If the seller accepts your offer, do you really want that deal? If so, higher due diligence. Is it like a weak deal and the seller has no potential at all at selling it to anybody else but an investor? Great, low due diligence. So when you finally get that seller to agree, so you just make your offer based off of your scenario, you get that seller to agree to your $2,500, non-refundable deposit. You can bring the non-refundable deposit, so that way you lock it. Well, first of all, you're under contract before you give them the deposit. Okay, and here in North Carolina, the way we do it is typically you have about 3 days after you go on the contract to give up the deposit. Okay, some realtors are cool with you too, so sometimes you can get it for a week. But let's say it's $2,500. You can either just go ahead and give them your $2,500, and then when you find your buyer, you can have him give it back to you at that point. Send him an assignment, Same scenario when you get your buyer. He doesn't give you a deposit, which I don't suggest, but you just write it in the assignment that he owes you back this deposit. That might be somebody that you have a really good relationship with, okay? Or B, maybe yeah. You know, I've had some people use their credit card. Excuse me. I've had some people use their credit card. So let me give you an example. So let's say you got a credit card and, you know, it's a $3,000, you know, line of credit. You know, your homeboy, or you can use a company like Plastique, sends you an invoice, or you go to Plastique and you charge $2,500 to that, you know, to that company or to that invoice, and boom, you're able to get it back cash, you know, get it back cash. Your homeboy can send you an invoice. He might want a little fee on it. So you might have to swipe it for 26 and he give you back 2,500 in cash. Or Plastique kind of does the same thing. They take a fee and they give it back to you in cash, you know, on a Visa card. So, or into your PayPal account. But that's how I would suggest doing a non-refundable deposit. And that's kind of how I would look at those things. So stop fronting, stop hating, go out here, get this real estate bag,